Hi guys, welcome to our podcast. I'm Christina.
I'm Mary.
When we're here, we're going to talk about IQ. I have been so scared to ever take an IQ test. I thought that it was going to make me feel, I know you're not supposed to say this, but dumber. It would be black and white how smart I am. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So because I don't know if I've told y'all this, but I have dyslexia, and I had an IP at school. I was one of those people that couldn't read in class, and it was very hard, and it's also why I go to the funny aspect of things. Like I try to make people laugh because I cared so much about what other people thought of me and how I perceived, and they always thought I was stupid and all that, growing up.
We're the Southern Prosperity Podcast.
Yes, we are.
I've never taken an IQ test.
You haven't?
I don't think I have.
Oh my gosh, guys, I have to tell you a story. So I've worked at the same company for 14 years.
Wow.
14 years. Because next, in 2027, it'll be my 15 year, and we get to have a big party. This one lady that I respect, she's beautiful and everything, and she's smart, and she's been doing this, she specializes in her job and everything. Love you. She has actually introduced me to other people several times as, this is Christina. She's one of the smartest people I know at this company. And I was like, what? The first time I heard it, I was like, maybe she's just being sarcastic. I thought she was being sarcastic. Like, why would she say that? Like, because that's totally not true. I'm not in IT. I'm not a manager. I'm not an executive. I'm just a regular worker. You know what I mean? I never felt.
She thought you were smart.
I thought she was being sarcastic the first time. The second time I heard it in passing, and I was like, and it was years later, okay? And I was just like, she said it again. That was weird, okay? At a company function with a person there that I've never met before, she said it again, introducing me that way. Even though I wasn't next to her, I was over here doing my own thing in a different conversation, but she goes, yeah, that's Christina. And then I looked, and she said it. I was like, what? She said that multiple times. I know it's been at least 2 or 3 times. I think she really thinks I'm smart. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. So I've known that I was knowledgeable about some things. I've known that I had common sense. I did not ever think I was smart. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, and I don't know if Facebook can read my mind, but it popped up on my Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
IQ test. Now, keep in mind,
I think Facebook can read our minds.
I think they can. So the whole purpose of this video is to understand what an IQ is, understand that even though you have disabilities, you have deficiencies, you have things, these mental blocks or times that you don't have clarity, whatever it may be, that doesn't mean you're not smart. Does that make sense? Because I took an IQ test. I had to pay for it because I don't know why. I just was like, let's go ahead and just take it, because if she thinks I'm smart, my IQ test will tell me I'm smart or not, okay? And I was always scared to take an IQ test because I didn't want it to say you're stupid, or like you were below the average or whatever.
What is IQ? So what is IQ? What does it mean?
Intellectual. I don't know. Will you ask Siri?
Quotient.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay. So I took the IQ test and I got a 140, which is above average.
Siri, what does IQ stand for?
A score of 116 or more is considered above average. IQ stands for intelligence quotient.
Oh,
This
good
answer is
job.
from healthline.com and psychcentral.com.
Awesome. Okay, so I got a 140.
Wow.
And they said 100 was the norm.
Wow.
And then I was like, what? Okay. Because I did the test and I was like, I got all of those right. There was only one that I struggled on, but I figured it out. And
is it timed? Do they give you a certain length of time?
So normally when you take a time test, it would have like a timer on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I assumed it was not timed.
Okay. But
once I finished that portion of the test, it
mm-hmm.
said you finished 18% faster than everyone else.
Okay.
I was like, I was on there longer. But these questions are like, it seems like common sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like spatial recognition or like which part of the block would fit here. And they gave you 6 different ones. And I was just like, this should not be, I mean, it wasn't hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I don't know how everybody couldn't get these right.
And where did you find this IQ test?
It popped up on my Facebook. I did have to pay $1.96 for it. Now, I did ask ChatGPT a bunch of questions after that. I did do some research, and technically, since it wasn't performed by an individual, it's not necessarily accredited,
right.
IQ test.
Right.
But it's just a general, like...
was it trying to get you, after they gave you your score, were they trying to sell you something? Or
the whole program, which was all the different tests, personality test, your love language, like a bunch of bullcrap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't know. So my point on this video is to just communicate that just because you were raised and there were quote unquote bullies around, or there were people that made you feel a certain way, or like demeaning or whatever, like, I don't know if you've ever been in that situation where you felt less than, or, everybody has something wrong, as far as what society calls the norm is what I'm thinking. And mine is just dyslexia. And the way that I think has been affected my whole life.
Were you diagnosed with dyslexia?
Oh, it's blatantly obvious. My B's or D's. I've never been a P and Q. No, my P's and Q's. But I've never been a D versus Q or B, lowercase. Like those I can distinguish. But a Q and a Q, like a P and a Q. If I'm in a rush or something, I don't know the difference. I can't tell the difference sometimes.
Yeah.
But of course, my common sense would kick in and be like, well, that's not coupon. Or that's not pucon. That's coupon.
Okay.
Or whatever. Or if there's a U behind it, I know it's a Q.
Okay.
Like little things like that will always kick
common
in.
sense.
Common sense kicks in. So, and I don't know, but I actually think that maybe the dyslexia increased my IQ, because you have to actually rewire your brain to understand what you're seeing and the way you perceive it, because you can't necessarily, it's weird. I don't know how to even explain it.
I know people that have deficiencies in part of their brain.
Oh, really?
Have excellent capacities in other parts of their brain.
They do, yeah. And
for instance, if you can't, I know a person that is slow, cannot read, but they can memorize every word to every movie they watch.
That is awesome.
And I don't know if I've learned this through experience or I've actually read this, that when one part of the brain is damaged, it kicks in another part of the brain is going to compensate.
That is true.
And this particular person that can memorize has very acute hearing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, it's not awesome when he's in a loud room.
Oh, yeah.
And that noise is very irritating. And unsettling.
Yeah, that actually happens when you lose your eyesight, your hearing, and your sense of smell and stuff heightens.
I think that's your brain that compensates for the part that is lacking in the other, or your sense. You lose one sense, the other senses kick in and become more hypervigilant.
Yeah. So that is my point for this entire video, is just understand that even though you have insecurities, even though you may think that you're not smart, on the flip side, you're probably the smartest person in the room. You don't even know it. I didn't even know it.
And smart can be different.
That's another thing,
in different people. Some people are smart in this area and not as smart in another area.
Right. Yes. And that is another thing, is like all these little quotes, all these little sayings, things that you hear as you grow up in society along the way. Like one of the things that one of my coworkers told me, he goes, you're not smart. You are, what did he say? You know a lot. You know a little about a lot. You don't know a lot about a little.
So that reminds me of doctors, specialists that you go into, that, for instance, heart specialists. They are so knowledgeable about the heart, but couldn't tell you the least bit
about anything else.
About diet.
Yes. And that is something that I'm just now realizing at the age almost 40 years old, is that these people that you respect, these people that are up in the sky, they're not necessarily smarter than you. Just because they make $300,000 a year, just because they were able to be structured and go through college and go through this and endure all of this stuff that they're required to do to get to that point, does not mean that they're necessarily smarter than you.
I have thought that many times.
Me
especially
too.
With a medical specialist.
Yes.
That you're in there and they're questioning why you feel or believe differently.
Yeah.
And I want to say, because you know this much about this.
Yes.
But I have learned, because I have the time and I'm not having to see 100 patients a day.
That's true.
I know this much about this.
Yes. That is 100% true. And this is something that people don't even understand or realize, is that, because I've gone to specialists and I will ask, just because they're a specialist doesn't mean they actually know about everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because they are specialized in a certain area.
Yeah. I have a relative that is a surgeon, and I asked him a question. He was like, I hadn't studied that in 30 years. I have no idea. And I'm just like, you're supposed to be super duper smart. But anyways,
and when you specialize in a area, you're stuck kind of in that area.
Yeah.
And I would think, with all of the journals they have to read and all of the medicines they have to keep up with, and that they just don't have time to expand their knowledge.
That's true.
Except in that specialty that they're in. And that's what I love about my life, is although I was an accountant through the years, I did accounting work in so many different fields.
You did. You
that
told
allowed me to learn about farming, construction, medical, utility, interior decorating, but I did not want to work in a field that I didn't understand.
Oh, okay.
So it allowed me the time, and I had the desire to learn about that particular field that I was doing that accounting work in.
So did you ever use any, we're going off topic, sorry. Did you use any skills from previous industries and like relate it back to other ones and found like, how it could improve?
I tell you what, when I bought that retail store, I've owned a retail store that had cosmetics, a dress shop. I looked back over my life and realized that everything I had done up until that point, from being a jeweler in my early 20s to working in with an interior decorator, that all of that led me to be able to run this retail business.
Exactly. And that is one of our ultimate goals is every decision that you make is building your life. And that is the point of our podcast, is to allow you to understand that hindsight's 20/20 and every decision that you make determines what your future is, guys. So not only did the IQ test, everybody has a different IQ, and legit a Facebook. That's what she was like.
Watch Facebook, because I don't know how legit that is.
It may not be legit, but guess what? It brought faith to my soul and embraced me in a positive way. I may not be a 140 on legit scale, but it's on up there. I know it.
So where do you go to get a legit IQ test?
So it says it has to be ChatGPT anyways told me it has to be instructed by a professional so they can I have no idea.
Is that a neurologist? I wonder.
I don't know. I know that my children had an IQ test done
through school. Okay.
So I think it's probably like a
psychiatrist or psychologist.
Maybe, I don't know. Candace Owens says that they take these tests at school and they do the standardized testing so the CIA and the feds can track all the smart people. But we're not going to talk about that today.
She's a conspiracy theorist.
I'm a conspiracy theorist, but we're not going to talk about that.
I wasn't saying you were, but I know Candace is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're both one of those, okay, guys? But yeah, we're going to stay on track on this video. We're doing something a little different, and I know you're going to love it.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much. I hope you learned something. Remember, if you learn one whole thing out of this episode, or if it brings you any positivity, we did our job.
And
Thank you, guys.
We wish you prosperity.
We do.
Bye.
Bye, guys.